Okay, everybody, here we are. We're going to do a cast on the fly. I wanted to come on because I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about nutrition. I just did a short video on what I like to eat if I'm in a hurry, especially if I haven't prepped meals. So the cool thing about the real fitness influencing industry, if you're a real influencer, you're living the life. You know what it's like to grow muscle. You know what it's like to watch your body transform. You know what it's like to do the work. Like, you don't hire a chef. You don't hire a chef if you're really into eating clean, and you know it. You know what it takes to be healthy and to experience health. You don't hire somebody else. That means you're not really into eating clean. You're just into being served. What I also want to tell you is common sense is common sense. This is like a little digressing from what the topic of conversation is. But if you have an influencer who literally tells you, like, for example, write things down. If you have a meeting with somebody on Friday at 12 o'clock, write it down or you might forget. Is that not common sense? However, that's the whole content production in association to time management. Is that educational? That's the future of influencing, unless somebody steps up to the plate to transform this garbage content into something of substance. Because somebody who doesn't have a calendar, because they only have one meeting on Friday, isn't going to grow their business because they wrote it in a calendar. Making a calendar, I will discuss with you when you pay me, because I have a whole lesson on working a calendar. I'm just not going to give it to you for free because it's a big deal. I'm like sick and tired of these whores producing this bullshit content and using these dudes to fuel their image and their brand, and they have nothing backing them up except for look at my titties and look at my fancy voice and look at my calm demeanor. Let me mind manipulate you, and then let's everybody in the social network agree that that's normal. That's not normal. I'm sorry. You are psychotic. That's sociopathic behavior. I'm going to let you know I'm Jesus risen. So the second coming of Jesus is me. I know it sounds far-fetched for those of you who are atheists, agnostics, Muslim. They're trying to make this country, the United States of America, anti-Christian, and that bothers me a lot. And I consider Jewish people in the Christian, I know it's not Christian, but I do consider Jewish people Christian. I know it's like, I consider good people who believe in God Christians. But like the God that's fun and funny and cares about people. But see, Allah, the Muslim Taliban they represent, they don't believe in goodness. They believe in evil. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about briefly was, if you're dealing with somebody who claims to be psychic, who can speak to the other side of spirit land, and they're speaking to the woman who was killed by the Iranian government over the hijab women's right thing, which I put on my Twitter account, where I said, I am the devil, and then I put Persian underneath it. What if she is your spirit guide, and she's actually a demon spirit, fueling her agenda in the grave? And that's who Mona Van is working with. Would you rather have someone who's going to tell you, you have to, in order to become successful, you were put here on this planet to have a journey, and it's not always going to be easy. Like, real people are not always born into money. So in order for you to get successful, you're going to have to go through a journey, because the journey is what gets you to become successful. It's not the money or the fame. Your journey isn't just sitting on your ass going to a fancy party. I'm not sure how you all are falling for this. It's like, journey is you're going to go right, and then you're going to go down the street, and then you're going to go on a bumpy road, and then you're going to take another right, and then you're going to fall on your ass. You're going to learn some lessons, and then you're going to keep going. You're going to battle some shit. Then you're going to keep going. You're going to battle some more shit. Things are going really well, like even in the battle, you know, and then you turn a corner, and then things get pretty smooth, and then it gets rocky again. No, these people live in smooth land. Everything's smooth. I got money, I got power, I got presence, I got money. I got money, I got power, I got connection, that's it. Then I'm going to teach you everything that I do, but it's not going to work for you. Because we're completely evil, and we're actually just really looking for clout chasing. They were born into money, and then they made fake friendships in the network, and then social media came along, and they bullied each other, and then they bullied all of you. And then they figured out how to create fake relationships to look as if they're cool. And then they brainwashed you. And that's what I wanted to say about that. I didn't want to do too long on this video because I actually was in the middle of working out. But I got sidetracked because I realized that I hadn't eaten all day. So I did a little mini video to show you how eating fast is, if you're really up to big things in your existence of being an entrepreneur, is you have to kind of plan out your meals if you're into fitness and you don't want to end up fat. Because it's really easy to, and to save money too. But I always find that eating at home makes me feel better. It makes me happier. And it becomes something that I'd rather do than go out to eat. Especially in this town. I don't really feel like there's a lot of places that I want to eat at. So it's like prepping your meals, remembering to eat, and remembering to drink your water. And then figuring out when you didn't prep your meal, little snippets of fast foods, not fast food, but like quick foods that you can pull out and open and use, like tuna. You know, y'all know I love hell of a dip, but obviously hell of a dip is not healthy. But is it tied me over until I can get my nutrition back in order? Yeah. I mean, you do want to realize that you want to live an enjoyable life too, right? If you go to like someone's house and they're like eating clean to the point where it's so annoying, you know they're not happy, right? If they're eating and making shit pea muffins and they're saying that they're delicious, 8 out of 10, you know that they're not happy, right? You know that if you're posting retaliation videos because the person would rather go work on VeeFriends than go to a bullshit orgy Heidi Klum party and then retaliate with photos on her platform, you know that they're not in a real relationship, right? Because she wasn't invited to the party. The spouse or the partner was invited to the party, which means that she couldn't go to the party unless he went to the party. But see, that's how these content creators work at this time. The way that this is operating right now is they don't give a shit about humanity at all. They don't give a shit about humanity. They don't even see the significance of me being angry over the fact that I'm yelling out that I'm American, you're a Persian, and then they're yelling out, we're in a free country. I'm I'm American. I'm the American. I represent American, and you're valuing foreigners over American, and they're all crying out equality. Where's my unemployment check? I don't get an unemployment check. You've blocked me out of my work. Where's my assistance? The government is attacking me. That's not a free country. How is it that my account still has 0 views and 0 followers, yet I'm the American? This is owned by an American company. All these, Mark Zuckerberg is American. Yet they're allowing Middle Easterns to be spewed as garbage all over American soil, recreating this country to believe in Muslim shit. And that's where we are in politics. That's where we are in content creation. And no one's stepping up to the plate to advance this to another level of what the fuck are we going to do here? Because now we're in a whole heap of a shit. Because you don't really quite understand how putting a Persian like Monavand in front of 45 million people, what it's done to society. Not only is she a psychopath, she's an uneducated psychopath. Her content today consisted of her saying time management and you need to write things down. When I have a meeting on Friday, I write it in a calendar. That's literally like a 22-year-old's education. And that's the future of content creation, because she never grows. She's been watching my content now for 2 years plus, 6 years. She's been watching me, stealing my shit, trying to. Because the calendar shit actually came from my content. Everything she produces, everything all the females produce, come from my content from like years ago. So they're constantly it's in circulation. Yet she's the one that's got 500,000 dating my husband, gloating about it on her platform, and then buys my dog and tries to act like me to swoon Gary Vee. Because he'll post a post where he'll say, don't buy stupid shit. And then her post says, I didn't get my nails polished, but look at my hot trench coat. Hold on, let me show you something. Do you remember when I did the video of Rick Astley? Do you remember when I did the video of Rick Astley? Is this not a trench coat? That's called her producing content to gloat to me that I got my trench coat from a really nice lady in a yard sale, and she got one that was $7,000 at a boutique. And it's every fucking day. Can you imagine putting yourself in my shoes in knowing that I have valuable content to educate Vayner Nation. And that prostitute is working with people like Ginger Beloved to cause your businesses to close, because that's the ultimate goal. So Gary Vaynerchuk is producing content to get your businesses to thrive and grow, because Gary believes in abundance. Then this woman comes along and wants to grow her business because there's a whole secret society of prostitutes out there who look for men with money to date in contract and then seduce them into falling for them. But it's all a lie. She doesn't think Gary's attractive. She does not like Gary Vaynerchuk's personality. He is Russian and she is real authentic Persian. He's actually really authentic Russian. But he's adaptable to the United States of America, and he's definitely 75% American. But he's also definitely 25% Russian. Which means that if you know the Kremlin, it's like apparent that there's a side of Gary that you do not want to meet. And I've met that person before. And I still loved him. I've met that Kremlin side of Gary before. And I still love you. Because I love him and I love everything about him, even his Kremlin side. Anyway, it doesn't come out very often unless he's super duper pissed off. I think you've been kind of pissed off at me sometimes. Maybe not, I don't know. Who cares? Honestly, I really could care less. But see, that's the difference between fake romance and real romance, is that I want to know that side of him. Because I want to be there for him in every form of who he is, because I love him that much. And I'm going to tell you, everything I've said about him is for his own good. He's a very brilliant man, just to let you know. Sometimes he doesn't get where I'm coming from either. It's the hard part about communicating through a camera. Y'all are dumb as shit. I don't even know what happened to you all, Americans. We used to tell each other we were dumb as shit, and we would laugh about it. Do you remember those times? Adrian, you're dumb as shit. That's the dumbest, stupidest shit I ever heard in my life. That's what we would say. I'd be like, what in the fuck? And she'd be like, what in the fuck? You're pissing me off. And she'd say, you're pissing me off. Yet for some reason, it's not acceptable to have those emotions anymore. And that doesn't work for me. There's like only extremes. Americans hang out kind of in the middle. When it comes to energy, it's like good. It's called balance. And honestly, we've been taken advantage of by the Democratic Party. I'm telling you right now, if you want to know the truth, we are being subliminally messaged. You're being subliminally messaged with her content in association to my content. If you do not like me, it's because it's a subliminal message. You do not like her. It's a subliminal message that you like her. So in the old days when Hitler was in office as a dictator, by the way, I read that he'd been in jail. And I have a strange inkling that Obama's been in jail also, and that he may have stolen someone's identity. the government literally is working with that woman to get her to produce specific content, and she agrees to all of it. She thought this was just going to be some acting role where she was going to look sexy and gain a following and marry some dude and get half his money and have a kid and then divorce his ass and then find somebody else. That was not what was going to happen if you want to know the truth. They thought you were that stupid? Did you think he was that stupid, for one? And did you think that we were just fake in love? Did you think he had very little morals and that I was a weak woman, that I was just going to bow away and not fight for VeeFriends? Or my country? And that's why you should be proud of Trump for everything that he's done so far, because Trump should be playing golf. And I keep telling y'all that, but he loves this country just like I love this country and the old style of what this country is. And there ain't nothing wrong with that old style, the way the country is. Which is Republican. Republican. The United States of America built this country off Republican. Honor. Integrity. Honesty. In the midst of that, we did have some Democrats who were rotten scoundrels, but the Republicans always rode in to save the day. So we've always had these battles of red versus blue, but this has been the worst in the history of the globe. You always have the money-hungry psychos or the slut fest. And you sure are a slut, Mona Vand. You think you're all sweet and innocent with your teddy bear ugly ass sweater. I swear to God, that girl looks like a 12-year-old girl. There is no way she's 38 years old. But you want to understand that she's an example of a lot of millennial Gen Zs out there, but hers is more vicious because she has a Muslim Persian background. And y'all don't understand what that mind is like. That mind is bad. That's a Taliban mind. That's the mind that will go on an airplane with a bomb strapped to their chest and blow up innocent people and not give two shits. Or instruct someone to do that and not give two shits. That would actually cheer for 9/11. Mona Vand cheered when 9/11 happened. Daddy, look! You did it! Yay! And then she was hooked. And that's how it works. So you need to take a long, hard look at what's actually going on the internet. And what you're going to produce as your content in retaliation to someone like that. But when I say retaliation for you, I mean your strength and energy. That woman is the one that is not wanting you to produce content because you become the competition. And you're weak because you're not strong and you don't have millions of dollars. And that's like saying that with compassion. Because I want you to be aware that you have weaknesses, you have vulnerabilities because you're a real person. Because that's actually a positive statement. She will find your weaknesses and your vulnerabilities. You'll be following her as a platform content creator, and then she will pick you apart with her content to make you feel like a piece of shit, that you're unworthy, and that you're not supposed to produce content. So that's the terror barrier that we talked about in one of my other videos. You know? You go up to the terror barrier and you go right back to the start. I did the terror barrier work with Gary for a while. I taught him a lesson on that one. He didn't really understand that the sensitivity of some people, and that's fine. He always had good intentions. And he wasn't necessarily posting all his content either. His staff was doing it. And Gary had 7 businesses to run, and he didn't realize maybe that was happening. So then I would go back to the start, and then Gary would push me to go forward, and then I would go back to the start. But I kept going until I broke through the terror barrier. But Mona Van's terror barrier will take you out of your life. She'll break you up in relationships. She'll terrorize you with her pretend beauty and her fake persona. She goes to a party in the Hamptons and posts seductive photos, and that will take you out of your whole existence. You won't even look at social media anymore. That's what that represents. Then she'll steal all your ideas, your personality traits, and then she'll still make you feel like a piece of shit because we're on an unfair playing surface. So your information, as much as you produce, will get stolen and gets used in the terror barrier. And then you get $0. But since she looks a certain way, runs in certain circles, her money gets brand deals. To the point where you get fed up and then you produce content that is really pretty much not going to get you anywhere on good graces with people who are Democrat because they're that close-minded, because she's working the terror barrier. They're all working the terror barrier, folks. Your good ideas, that they're not really ideas, but they're educational, your personal experience and education. Mine is dental hygiene as a focal point with other shit that I know. Gets stuffed in a closet to where I age. And she's working the terror barrier and making millions of dollars. You may or may not break through, but you're still not teaching value content because you decided to conform and be just like her. Where you teach nothing but make a list. Wow, that's really valuable. I think I might give you one project a day to eat clean. Gee, thanks. Where you could literally transform your life with innovative ideas, inspired creation, and collaborative, authentic relationships. For example, what would have occurred if Gary Vaynerchuk and myself had met years earlier? However, we wouldn't have been able to expose all of this horror because I don't think I would have wanted to deal with it if I knew what was actually going on. If I knew this shit I didn't know this shit was going on. I really honestly didn't know. I literally am still blind to a lot of it, which is fine. It's like worse than I even want to know, y'all. That's why I'm Jesus this lifetime, because I was forced into this and I know a lot of things that's different than what you know. Anyway, I'm Jesus this lifetime. I mean, I say Jesus this lifetime, but I'm Jesus risen or whatever. Anywho, that's my little, I said I wasn't going to do a long video. This is a 30-minute video. I really am running out of lip gloss, but I do like this because it kind of tingles my lips. So I would say Buxom is a pretty good brand. I don't like lip gloss that tingles too much. It burns my lips, but this tingles just right. And this is called, it's called Celeste. I hate Celeste. Celeste actually slept with my boyfriend when I lived in Washington, D.C., and then acted like she was my best friend. And that's really what women will do. So I learned at a young age that you can't really trust a lot of women, although I still trusted them. And I always let God handle it to expose who people are. However, this was a different situation. Although she does expose herself on a regular basis. She's a terrorist. And that's an example of a terrorist. A terrorist is, she's a kind of terrorist that's a slow death for society. Kim Kardashian is also a terrorist. And that is all I have for you at this time. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. With a little bit of me, well, a lot of me and a little bit of you, we're going to change the internet, whether they like it or not. And they definitely do not like it. They don't like responsibility. They don't like integrity. They just like money. They just like fame. They just like photography. Can you imagine, y'all, if your life is literally living off of this? Let me show you. It's like wearing a fancy outfit where you spent the whole day getting ready, okay? How boring is that, first of all? And then you wear a really cute outfit, you show up. I'm here. Click, 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 click. Click, 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 click. Click, 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 click. Click, 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 click. That's the entire event. Where's the cocktails? Oh, I know. I literally have 4,000 views on that one video, and I just couldn't believe how many views I got because it really brought in a lot of algorithm and apocalypse. And oh my God, look at her outfit over there. Battle, 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 battle. Gary shows up. Battle, 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 battle. Is it time to go yet? That ain't fun, is it? But then you go home and then you scout on the internet to see how many views you got off your photography session. Wow. You are so amazing. You're so amazing. I think I'll do a collab. Wow, that's educational. That's a great mother. That's a great human. That's a great person. Now let's go to a Pencils of Promise event where we're going to use millions of dollars of donations for a fancy party. And then we'll take lots of photos there too. Then we'll give chump change to the little babies in Africa while we glorify ourselves. Did you not see who they glamorize at those events? Pencils of Promise. There's a historical acceptance of prostitutions with awards, 8th place trophies. Oh yeah, this year I'm the winner of the most entrepreneur blah blah bullshit. What the fuck did you do? You went on bravo.com and said your pussy was wet. That's called pornography. Then a man says that he would have a three-way or some shit. You see the man and you yell out his name. Strange man. I heard the da-da-da-da. Did you see how I said that my pussy was wet? And that is just the beginning of where these folks are taking television. Apparently this BravoCon bullshit has been going on for some time now. Although I will like to let you know that Mona Van wasn't invited. Which is exactly why she was sitting on that little chair. Poor Mona. I feel sad in the wintertime. But at least I have some pictures waiting in the wings to destroy 44 million people. With Melissa Wood, who quotes in her comment section, bestie. And that's women in business. And that's women on the internet. And that is why you work in a terror barrier on the internet. So we're all like normal people over here trying to be creative and shit. They're over there telling us that their pussy's wet. Now, who do you think an audience is going to choose? Someone who's over here trying to teach something? Or someone over there who's showing their tits and their ass and they're saying that their pussy's wet? Who do you think they're going to choose? Especially when the hoopla and the industry is backing up the wet pussy. Now that's where we're at in society, folks. That's not normal. You need to retrain your brains into knowing what ethics, morals, and values is. And I ain't no square either. That's the funny part. Like, I'm like, as far as you should take it. You understand? Meaning I would wear the outfit that J-Lo was wearing with P. Diddy, but I'm respectable. And I am sophisticated. And I'm not out for sex. I'm out to show off the fact that I work 2 hours a day in the gym, 6 days a week. To say that you too can get fit. I wouldn't erotically try to seduce you. I actually probably wouldn't wear something so provocative because to me I don't like to walk around naked. But I'm just saying that I'm not opposed to being like sexy. But to me, that's not sexy. To me, that's trashy. Shooting forward to really her lingerie sessions. And any outfit Mona Van has worn has been slut. Slut in the fact she's trying to get people's dicks hard. If you're trying to be unprofessional and get someone's dick hard, then you're not anything more than a trailer park trash slut. You don't appreciate a woman's body. You don't appreciate glamour. You're not sophisticated. You're just a vindictive whore. Vindictive whore who is empty inside and abusive to millions of people. And that doesn't sit well with me, especially here in America, especially since she's supposed to come from such solid roots of like anti-perversion, which is a Persian background. They're trying to warp the past of the truths. They tried to Americanize Persia with the last Shah, and then you invited Shahs into this country to host their own television show. Those are rotten people who literally show you who they are. The episode is with Mike, and he's disappointed in Mona. And Nima says it himself. He says she wants a genuine rich guy. Those are her qualifications. Genuine rich guy. She says, I don't think that's too much to ask. And now we see the results. And that's all I really honestly have for you.